Kansas City Chiefs lost on Sunday to the Indianapolis Colts, and while they lost, not everything was terrible. A lot of it was. The coaching was bad. The offense was terrible. The special teams were so bad that the Chiefs should have made them walk the trip back to Kansas City. But the defense was really, really good for a third straight week. And without Willie Gay and without Trent McDuffie, the Chiefs did just about everything you could possibly do. When you think about it, they set up both of the Chiefs' touchdowns. The Chiefs didn't even have to drive 50 yards to score twice. And it was set up by a fourth down stop. And it was set up by a turnover. The Chiefs sacked Matt Ryan 5 times. They hit him 10 times. They pressured him relentlessly throughout the game. They did it with a 4-man rush. They did it with a blitz. They covered beautifully. The Colts did damn near nothing in the game. Matt Ryan threw for 6 yards an attempt. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries for 71 yards. You won't see many defenses holding Jonathan Taylor to 3.4 yards an attempt. And really, look, Michael Pittman, who is easily the best Colts receiver, 8 catches, 72 yards. A good day, but nothing spectacular. No touchdowns there. Alec Pierce, 3 for 61. Nobody else had more than 25 yards receiving. The Chiefs did a very good job. And Darius Harris, who filled in for the aforementioned Willie Gay, led all tacklers in the game. 13 tackles, had a tackle for loss. He played a great game. Nick Bolton had 9 tackles. He had 2 sacks and a tackle for loss. Carlos Dunlap had a sack. Frank Clark had a sack. L'Jarius Sneed had a sack. And Sneed was everywhere in the game. Look, the easy takeaway from the Colts-Chiefs debacle, from a Kansas City perspective, is that the Chiefs played a horrible game. And they did. They did play a horrible game. But that also obscures the fact that the Chiefs' defense played a great game. Now, it will largely be remembered for the Chris Jones penalty with 5 minutes to go in the game. It's understandable. That penalty might have cost the Chiefs a win. There's no doubt. You get off the field there, and yet Chris Jones is talking to Matt Ryan. We don't know what was said. A penalty's called, and the Chiefs aren't able to recover. You kind of knew when that penalty was called it was bad news. Well, turned out to be really bad news in the form of a 20-17 loss. But let's not get it twisted. That is one really dumb play, but it's one play. The offense was terrible for about 60 plays. The special teams was terrible for about every play it was on the field. The defense was awesome for almost every play it was on the field. Over and over and over again, the Chiefs got off the field. Here are the drive totals for the Colts in the game. 3 plays, 5 yards, and a punt. 3 plays, 4 yards, and a touchdown because the Chiefs muffed the punt on their own 4-yard line. 8 plays, 31 yards, and a punt. 4 plays, -7 yards. 11 plays for 46 yards and a field goal. 3 plays, 26 yards, and a fumble. 5 plays, -4 yards. That's the end of the first half. Then the Colts, 10 plays, 42 yards, and a field goal. 7 plays, 45 yards. And then the 16-play, 76-yard drive that, of course, was extended with 5 minutes to go on that Jones penalty. You couldn't ask for better. The Colts only had 259 yards in the game. They had 19 first downs. They did virtually nothing all day. But they lost. Yet the effort should not go unnoticed. Because if they continue to play defense like this, they will win far more games than not. They have some tests coming up. Tom Brady in Tampa. Wait, I know the Buccaneers offense hasn't been good. It's still Tom Brady, and they're getting some guys back. Then they play the Raiders, who have ample weapons. Okay, Raiders are not good. They're 0-3, but they've got weapons. And then they play the Bills. Enough said. Okay? This is not going to be an easy stretch for this defense. It gets a lot easier after the bye. They see Tennessee, they see Seattle, they see Houston, Denver twice. Denver can't fight its way out of a paper bag offensively. Okay. But these next 3 weeks, even 4 weeks, if you'd like to include the 49ers, who have Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, it's not going to be easy. But the defense has shown it can play. It can play really well. 7 points before garbage time against the Cardinals. 17 points before they were trading time for points with the Chargers. And 20 points against the Colts team that really, the Chiefs gave up 13 of those points from a defensive standpoint. Okay? They are playing really, really well. They are leading the league in pressures and pressure rate. They already have 10 sacks through 3 games. They're getting production all over the field. They have multiple rookies who look like they can play. McDuffie was very good before he got hurt. Watson looks excellent. Karlaftis looks really good. And guess what? Most of these guys were under contract for years on end. Justin Reed looks like a good signing. Nick Bolton is awesome. Willie Gay is a very good player. Colin Saunders is having a really nice impact so far this season. Carlos Dunlap, great one-year signing. We'll see if he sticks around past that. Okay? But all these guys, most of these guys, they're here. And they're cheap. The Chiefs drafted most of these guys. I mean, really, if you look at this, this is a team and a unit that should only get better and better and better as the games go on, as the years go on. The Chiefs have something with this defense. And when you pair that with Mahomes, you ought to be really good. Look, it's easy to sit here right now and feel like everything's falling apart. They lost a game to a horrible team. They've not executed offensively. And if you're watching this YouTube channel, you know there's another video up talking about my concerns with the coaching staff and the way they coach this team. And I think those are valid concerns, obviously. At the same point, I refuse to believe a team with this much talent on offense isn't going to figure it out. And when it does, if this defense continues to play like this, the Chiefs are going to be nearly unbeatable because nobody's scoring 20 points on this team. Now, we'll see if they can continue to do it. It's not going to be easy. But I do believe that you're seeing a lot of the markers of a team that should be able to continue to do this. They're getting a pass rush, not just when they blitz, but with 4. Their coverage is excellent down the field. Snead has been the best he's ever been. Watson looks great. When McDuffie comes back, I think you're going to see Rashad Fenton go to a more reserve role. You have Reed and Thornhill, who are playing excellent ball. I would argue Thornhill's playing the best ball of his career right now. And then up front, look, take the Jones penalty aside. Jones is playing really, really well this year. Okay? Clark has been at least better than he's been. Karlaftis looks good. He doesn't have a sack yet, but he's made a lot of plays. Dunlap's been excellent. They've gotten plays inside from Saunders. You got to be excited about the defense, even if the offense made their effort moot on Sunday. Going forward, what matters is how it all comes together. But right now, they're 2-1. They're first in the AFC West. They're only trailing Miami in the AFC. I don't think the Chiefs are overly concerned about that. If this defense continues to play the way it's playing, the Chiefs should be just fine. Who knew that after 3 weeks, the biggest concern would be the unit helmed by Patrick Mahomes, not the unit with a bunch of rookies and new guys trying to fit into a very complex scheme. But that's where we are. The Chiefs' offense has to figure it out. And if you look at the talent, it's a good bet that it will. The defense has figured it out, and that's a great sign moving forward.